Colin Giles. I live at a little community called Many Peaks, which is ahead of the Boyne catchment. And on the Australia Day this year, would have to go down as one of the best, or the worst I should say, as far as floods, because I've been talking to a heap of old people in the valley and they've never seen anything like it in such a short space of time. Myself was stranded there for quite a while. Where the rain was all good in the first up, but after a space of time everyone was saying enough's enough. Then we could all see there was a problem coming. And Australia Day was when it all culminated, on Australia Day.
Okay, so when was that moment that you realised that this is going to be quite bad?
Australia Day, because we had a torrential downpour that morning.
Right.
And it was getting to the stage we could start seeing it coming up towards the house, and then it was starting to get the worrying stage then.
Do you think what makes a valley person, and do you consider yourself a Many Peaks resident or a valley person, and how does the community work?
Well, myself personally, I consider myself a Many Peaks person. I've been there 30 years and I love it because of the beauty of the place. It's an old gold mining town which started at the turn of the last century, and yeah, I consider myself Many Peaks first, Boyne Valley second.
Okay.
Personally, I couldn't get out to see what was going on outside of the Many Peaks because we were stranded, because there's a lot of creek crossing between me and everybody else. So it was quite a while before I could actually get out. But I think Frank McKee himself personally tried to do the communicating side of things, which ran into a big problem because we had no phone, which got washed out of the creek. For 2 months we pretty well lost our phone service, and at the moment there's a big push on to get a mobile service for that reason. And myself personally, I went and got myself a satellite phone for emergency purposes, because if anybody got crook we were in a fair bit of strife, I thought.
And do you think events like this most recent flood brings the community together or fractures it?
Well, I hope a lot of people learn a lot from it. Like, don't be too complacent. You know, like Australia is a country, I think, of feast or famine. It's either dry, and then when it does crack like it did last year, it all happens. And there's not much more. You've got to be prepared for it. You know, but I'd like to think it brought them all closer together and work as a teamwork in preparation for it when it does come, through thick or thin. Oh, I think it'll stick in their memories, but we've all got to move on, I think, and get on with life, because what else can we do? And just get back to normal, and hopefully a one like that is a once in 100-year event. And then they're still doing the roads, etc., etc. But people personally, I think they're sort of getting back on track. I know a couple of people up there at Bullion that I used to keep in contact by phone from Many Peaks, because I could see the water coming down first. It runs straight past their place, etc. And they ran into a bit of strife. And then I made one last phone call to them on the Australia Day and told them, I said, you better be prepared for the worst, and it happened. And they copped it, and they got a bit of devastation there in their house there, and that's the last I heard of it. I didn't know what was going on because of that lack of communication side of things. Yeah, well, it was ex-tropical cyclone Oswald, I think it was. It came down. No one thought anything of it. We started raining. Oh, I forget what date it was. A couple of days, 3-4 days there. Started bucketing into it, and then it's all good for a start. And then it got off Gladstone there and sat off there for a while, picking up moisture off the sea. Then it came inland, and that's when all the problems started. Australia Day, like I said, was the worst. I work at a cattle property called Cedarvale at the base of the Crumit Range. And when we could finally get out there to fix up flood fences, there was no such thing as a road. We had to go around the hills and all that just to get into the property. And they were communicating via Facebook, because of that satellite thing, to Frank McKee once again, and he was communicating to me by two-way when we could get out there and do something about it, along with everybody else. They had the same problems, but the creeks, there's people don't realise there's a heap of tributaries here in the valley. I live on a little one called Deception. Then on past me on the Monto Road, there's quite a few more. They all end up in the Boyne River. And where I work at Cedar Vale, there's a big creek out there called the 6 Mile Creek, plus a few tributaries. That all ends up in the Boyne River. And that's why there's so much devastation down the line, because they had the sheer volume of water. I wasn't too bad, I got away with it. I still had a bit of room to spare before the water got into me, because I think because I'm a bit higher up the catchment, myself personally.